It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Brekeriet in Sweden, and this is a bottle of their Lusse Lelle. This is a wild ale coming in at 6.5% ABV in a 330 milliliter bottle. Interestingly enough, because it's a sour ale, a wild ale, more of a, you're going to get flavours from the yeast and flavours from the kind of the sourness from the beer. It didn't go off until 2025, so it's 2021. This has got a 4-year shelf life because, of course, the hops won't drop out of it because it's not a hop-forward beer. There's a look at the bottle cap. Without further ado, let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the bottle opening. Beer in the glass. That bottle cap just shot straight into my coffee mug that I got in the sink. Did you hear it? Oh my god, wow, look at this. Look at the colour on that liquid. Wow. That's a really, really dehydrated pee there, isn't it? We've all been there after the big night out and you wake up in the morning, your first pee of the morning. It kind of looks like this, doesn't it? Wow. Slow moving carbonation. Head dissipated very, very quickly on the beer. It looks very good actually. I like the colour. It's like an illuminated orange, kind of lime coloured, a hint of lime in that colour. Very illuminated. Let's get the aroma then. Whoa, wow. Definitely really sour. And it's got like weird like elderflower, dandelion, Parma violets. It smells really, really interesting. Very wild. Very, very wild. Let's get into this one. Cheers, everybody. Oh. Yeah, this just tastes like the forest. The forest or the fields of Sweden. It's so organic. So organic. So it's really hard to describe. Like they've just foraged for stuff in the woods and they've chucked it in this beer. Wild flowers and it's very drinkable. It is very, very drinkable. It's nicely carbonated. There's a dry finish to the beer. It's got that sharpness coming through. That big kind of sharp flavour coming through. That sourness is kind of like punching through. It's really interesting, really interesting. I'm just wondering, I've had a few beers from Brekeriet. They once did a Brewdog tap takeover in our local Cardiff Brewdog. This was a long time ago now. I'm talking about 6 years ago. But I remember sitting there at that tap takeover, just drinking all of the Brekeriet beers because they were great. They were really, really good. Lots of them were kind of sour, wild yeast kind of beers. I think that this is what this brewery is all about. It's all about that kind of... In fact, probably very early adopters to the wild beer scene. I mean, we over in the UK now, we've got Yonder Beer and Blending, or Brewing and Blending, which they're doing a very similar thing where they're bringing out lots and lots of different sour beers. That's their stamp, that's their identity, is to produce lots and lots of sour beer. Probably because they love sour beer, and that's what they want to do. They want to do the things that really kind of make them happy in life. Pardon me. But Brekeriet, they've been doing it for probably 9 years, producing sour beer. They must have great traction now where they are in Sweden. If you like a sour beer, you probably get a Brekeriet beer. Sour Patch. Lusse Lelle is part of our collection of beers known as the Sour Patch, fermented with different wild yeast strains and lactic acid bacteria cultures. And then the ingredients are, here we are, malted barley, wheat and rye. Yes, you definitely get that spicy rye in there. You definitely get that spicy rye. You definitely get a lemon flavour as well. It's like, it has been dry hopped. It is a kind of a lemony flavour, but yeah, wild yeast strains. So wild yeast strains, what are we talking about here then? Best way I can explain it is a cool ship. When I was in Cantillon in Brussels in Belgium, they had what was called a cool ship. It was a great big open vessel that was only, I don't know, 10 inches, 12 inches deep. And they would, once they finished kind of brewing the wort, and the wort was all sorted, they pump it out into this large, very shallow swimming pool, which is called a cool ship in the brewing world. And then you had a flat surface area then, a big flat surface area for lots of the yeast to kind of, yeah, the word is infect the beer and produce wild beer. And what they do, they leave the windows open in Cantillon, and the wild kind of yeast flies through the window. It's everywhere. The yeast is all around us. It's on my skin now. It's everywhere, yeast. So they open the window, let the yeast in through the window, and it kind of has got a massive platform to kind of land on the beer. It's something like 20 meters by 20 meters, this cool ship, massive cool ship. But that's how they produce sour beer. Essentially, they just, whether it be the tiles on the ceiling or the roof, it's a certain kind of bacteria, a certain yeast strain that's in the air. It hits the beer and produces a signature brew. Cantillon can get their beers to taste more or less exactly the same because the yeast that's on the tiles in the roof always kind of infects the beer. It's the same flavour. It's magical stuff. So there's no actual yeast added to the beer from the brewers. It's all coming from the air. Right. Rating. I'm sure there's more to it than that, but I'm trying to break it down in a very simple form for you. Lusse Lelle, a fruity, unique and refreshing wild ale fermented with saffron. That's probably that flavour, that kind of weird dandelion, elderflower flavour. Yeah, I like it. It's nice. It's nice. It's probably a 7 out of 10 for me. 7 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.